Oh, I found my exit socks. I don't know if I told you they were missing.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They were in the shoe bin at the bottom.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm. Excellent connection. That's a good start. A shoe bin at the bottom.
Oh, no way.
Oh, look at that. Okay, cool. And that's a good start. I think we're on.
Let's see.
Okay,
I need to figure this thing out.
Hi guys, welcome. I know some of you are watching this back once we post it, so excuse the setup in the beginning. I'm going to put socks on. Hi guys, welcome. I know some of you are watching
There
this
we
back
go.
once we post it, so excuse
What's up?
the setup in the beginning.
What's going on, Alicia?
Who's here?
We have Alicia in the building.
Alicia! I love her. She was a client of mine once, Mark. She's who lives up in Bend with her boyfriend who is a fighter during the summers. Dan.
Cool.
We're going to stay with you guys one day up in Bend. Hello, Alicia. You're here. We'll see who else gets here in time. What are we talking about today, babe?
Hold on. Why am I fuzzy?
I think you're good. I think it's just because we're moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our Goodwill finds.
Oh my gosh. You guys, we went to the Goodwill bins with our friend John, who does this every single day. Like, this is kind of his full-time gig at this point, since we worked together at the gym and now we don't anymore. So like, that's his full-time gig now, and he finds the best stuff and makes actually really good money. And we went to go join him yesterday instead of riding, which, holy cow, great call. Oh, hi, Dad. Which was a great call that we didn't go up to the mountain yesterday because it was packed and people were still leaving by like 11 p.m. So we went to Goodwill bins where everything is sold by weight instead of by like value. So we got like, what'd you get? Like Patagonia pants.
An old school North Face coat.
Yep, North Face coat. The analog snow pants.
Yeah, that's a good find.
Super good find. Black diamond headlamp.
Yep. A couple of Carhartt
What
stuff
else?
that would fit my dad.
Yeah, Carhartt stuff.
A vest.
What else did I get? Levi jeans that were apparently I could sell them for a good price because they have the orange tag instead of the red tag. I don't know this stuff, but John knows this stuff. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun, yeah.
It was. Mike, did you go for a run today?
Yeah, Dad, did you run today?
Alicia, what were you doing in the valley?
So her mom, her whole family does.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so she comes back for holidays.
Uh-oh.
Are we frozen? There we go. We might be frozen, guys. Stick with us. Are we good?
No data.
The stream will end shortly unless you start it in your streaming software. Yes, Dad says he ran 6.1 miles. I don't know if people can hear this or see this, but Dad and I used to run together all the time, long distance running, and I've just completely blown out my knees. Not blown out, that's exaggerative, but snowboarding, as many of you know, kill your knees. And so snowboarding and long distance running do not work well together. And so I kind of stopped long distance running.
Let's try this again.
Okay. Warning, please check video resolution. The current resolution is blah, 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 blah. Is this a new one or the same one?
This is the same one.
Well, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but anyways, to continue. We'll see how it goes by the end.
That's weird.
Dad and I ran a marathon together, and after the full marathon, I was like, I'm done. Maybe trail running. I think I enjoy trail running like what we did the other day, like 2 weekends ago. It was a little bit easier on the knees. Hey, bro, gnarly. Welcome. Mark's getting everything figured out, guys. So hopefully you can still hear us, even though the video might be a little bit choppy. Yeah, so we went to Goodwill to the bins and found a lot of good stuff. And we went to the mountain today. Yeah. Sorry, Mark's still figuring this out. Now I'm getting intrigued. As some of you know, I've been dealing with a concussion since December 9th, and I've tried so hard to like just take it easy and not do anything too exerting here and just kind of chill. But going up to the mountain is hard to pass on. So we went up to the mountain today because it dumped like 12 inches.
It was a pretty nice day.
It was such a nice day. We were one of the first chairs up Norman, and we went on the backside, as we usually do when it's dumping, and it was just completely untouched. It was like everything you do, you just float. It was like you couldn't do any wrong. It was beautiful. Yeah. But I'm trying to take it easy still because I want to keep my brain.
Yeah, I tomahawked for the first time. That was crazy. We had first runs on Jeff's.
No, Norman, then down to Jeff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see the terrain. And
yeah, you couldn't see anything.
I hit like a drop. It was like a foot drop, and just tomahawked, but it was soft. That was pretty nice.
So funny. I love riding in that stuff because even though you can't see the terrain, it's like as long as I don't hit a tree, I'm not going to be too bad. Like even tomahawking is like, oh, it doesn't really hurt as bad.
Yeah, it was crazy. It just happened like that.
Yeah.
So it was good.
It was really fun.
Yeah, the lines were crazy long though.
Oh my gosh, I think we got 8 runs in total because each line was like 45, half an hour, 45-minute wait, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But every day.
It's not bad.
Every day on the mountain's a good day.
Yeah.
Kimberly says, ah. I love floating. Me too.
That's awesome.
Me too. That's when you get into that natural like vibe, natural flow. It's so nice. How's the head? Dad says. I don't know how much this has been able to catch through all this stuff, but my head's okay. It's mostly just light sensitivity. Like the whole drive home, I had like super dark sunglasses on, a hoodie on, a hat, like trying to shade myself as much as possible because up on the mountain it's super bright. And it was hard because in the beginning of the day, it was super snowy. So having light goggles was totally fine. It was helpful even. But towards the afternoon or the end of the day, it was like the sun really started coming out and it was like bluebird all of a sudden. And having bluebird day with light goggles is like, yeah. And mixed with a concussion. My eyes were just so sensitive. So if you see me resting my eyes a lot during this video, that's why. It's just light sensitivity gives me headaches at this point. But other than that, I feel like my words are back.
Yeah, you're coming back to your train of thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because for the first 2 weeks, it was hard to teach yoga because my words wouldn't just come together. And that was the most frustrating thing because usually teaching yoga is like breathing for me, and so not being able to form those words were We're going Tuesday, Alicia said.
Tuesday should be good. I think this week is supposed to snow at Mount Hood,
and she's at Bachelor.
She's at Bachelor, so I don't know what Central Oregon's looking like, but I'm sure it's pretty good.
Yeah, how is it, Alicia? You went up the other day. Let us know how Bachelor is.
Yeah,
because we've been talking about going, honestly, like, as you know, Alicia, like we have family up there that we stay with, and so we really want to stay with them and board with them because our uncle skis and he's so good and so fun.
How did you manage to get a pass on Tuesday? Has it been difficult? We've heard conflicting things.
Let us know about the pass situation.
Yeah, but I'd be curious.
Yeah.
Concussion-wise, though, we're going to try to put a video out on concussions within the next few weeks, but it's still, concussions are still very much up in the air. So you have
Yeah.
essentially your brain, which sits in this fluid inside your skull. So when your head makes an impact, your brain essentially has to go with that force, like you're, hit with a car, and it's essentially rattling back in that fluid, back and forth. So this can be bad. It can create, micro damages in the brain. And what can happen though is parts of that brain can essentially shut off because of the damage. So like the blood that goes to it, and over time, over decades, this can spread. So that's kind of what they're worried about. But as far as like concussion management and recovery, it's still kind of up in the air. There's still a lot of unknowns.
There's a ton of unknowns. And this is just my hypothesis, so don't quote me on it. But I'm just wondering, like, because each part of your brain is a different house. Like, it's a different development. Like, this is the language part, and this is the motor skills, and these are the decision-making areas. And my thought process while I was snowboarding today was like, I wonder if which part of our brain gets impacted the most, if that affects that area of the brain the most. I was thinking about that today.
Definitely with strokes, it does. Because that's like internal blood that's shut off essentially to that part of the brain. But I don't know, like the superficial surface, I don't know, maybe. I know concussions generally have a lot of the same things, like sensitivity to light. Your train of thought is a lot slower, so you can't really come to conclusions quickly. Fatigue, headaches,
Nausea
is really common. So there's like a lot of
sleepiness,
very common things that go along with concussions. And essentially, as far as the recovery goes, they have a few different tests they can do.
Oh, we should link one of the
Yeah, when we make a video, we will. But there's one main one that's used by like FIFA and stuff. I forget the name, but I can think of it. And it's like a long series of tests. So of things to do. It's like problem solving, counting backwards, remembering sentences, things like that. And then as far as return to play, it's really, there's just so much up in the air. It really comes down to the person implementing the test,
right,
and the doctor. So
there's a couple of tests out there, like the gorilla.
There's a lot.
The gorilla test, right?
No, buffalo treadmill test. Essentially, what that means
gorilla.
is, so what it means is, like, I think it's a period of 20 minutes, and you get someone on a treadmill. They go up like a certain incline and a speed every like 2 minutes or something. And you're just watching for those symptoms to return. If at any point those symptoms return, then you have
like headache, nausea,
you have to end the test, and then you go like a couple days longer or something. Don't quote me on that, or up to a week.
We can link it.
And then you repeat again after that period of time. You see if you can get further until they can complete that test fully without any symptoms. Then they're not allowed to return to play. Is it realistic in like a professional or high school or college setting? You hope so, but
it's the risk reward.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at a high level and there's a lot of money involved, there's reputation, who knows if they follow this precautions really closely.
Right. I'm not at a high level. I probably shouldn't have gone snowboarding today, and we're not perfect. Like, we know that I'm sure so many of you have like injured yourself in some way, and you probably push yourself to get out there sooner, and that's totally what I did today. Like, I shouldn't have gone up, but a part of me was like, it's just got done dumping. We could just go for a half day. I'll take it easy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Alicia says, we booked the reservations in advance, 7-day booking each. Just got lucky, I guess. Some days we stay up later, wake up early just to hope for cancellation.
Nice.
We just got the midweek pass, so I figure it's easier to midweek. Yeah, that makes sense. Most places are easier to ski midweek, but that's awesome that you're able to get one.
Yeah.
Dan has TBI from overseas, and you can still see the damaged areas and MRIs, so I'm sure the area most received the most impact is the most affected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Potentially, yeah. Especially I'm assuming it's from explosion or something like that. So that's like another level of concussions and traumatic brain injury.
But there's a lot of stuff out there right now. So like my mom she's getting her doctorates of mental health therapy, and she uses this, probably some of you guys have heard of it. It's a TENS unit. TENS.
She uses a TENS unit?
Not the TENS that's like on your muscles that maybe you've used for like, making your muscles twitch, but it's a TENS unit for the brain, and it's kind of like what you would think of as an ultrasound looking like, where you have a wand and you wave it over areas, but basically it helps regenerate connections in the brain. And she was so sweet. I called her and she said that she's taken clients with like serious brain issues, like unable to function on their own because of a serious TBI, and she, over time, of course, they were able to get them back to functioning and back to living a normal life and all stuff like that. And so she was like, don't worry, like if you still have symptoms come spring, I'll just bring my TENS unit and take care of you there, and we'll get you good and running good. So that's nice.
So
if you have that available.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
It's totally out of my realm.
Oh,
but...
we should do a video with her. That would be fun.
Moral of the story, wear a helmet.
Yes.
So
and,
you have a very thin layer of skull that protects this brain. And if you've ever seen or touched a brain, it's essentially like, how do you describe it? Like
Jello.
Kind of like Jello, and essentially, yeah, it's like, it's really, really soft. And you could just, this is going to sound grotesque, but if you had a brain, you could literally just like
put your finger
jam
in
your finger in all the way.
that does sound terrible.
But yeah. So
Gross.
You're traveling at 30 miles per hour, and you hit an edge, and your head goes rattling right into the
Skull.
snow. Yeah, wear a helmet.
Wear a helmet, but then also, Mark, I keep talking about, like, I want new gloves, and I want new boots. Like, I'm just so excited about new gear now. And he was like, okay, but first you have to get a new helmet. Because if you hit your head hard enough to where you get a concussion, then that helmet has served its purpose, and now it's time to get a new one. To serve that purpose again, because you can't just keep beating a helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Casey, just got my cast off last week. Congrats, my man.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome.
Remind me again, the cast was where?
I believe it was his leg.
Leg, okay.
Casey can remind us, but
Yeah,
we've
please
talked to
remind us.
so many people about their injuries, so when you do ever write in, like, give us just a quick reminder. But I'm pretty sure it's his leg. Well done, Casey.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're seeing a physical therapist, or if you have any kind of course of rehab or a plan of any sort. Let us know, because we love that stuff.
Pro gnarly, stop it, Mar.
Stop it? Stop what?
I'm assuming it was for the descriptive of the brain.
Oh, the brain.
Yeah.
That's funny. There's a little lag, you guys, so sometimes we get your messages a little bit later.
Yeah, it's crazy. In school, grad school, we have to dissect a body, obviously, a couple, but there's a couple weeks.
Okay, pause for a second. He has dissected 2 whole cadavers, like from start to finish. And that's like so freaking cool to me. Like, I've like played with the cadavers, but I've never, like, he's the one who actually like gets every venule like showing and gets the fat off of everything. Like, I could nerd out on that. I think it's really cool that he got to do that twice.
It's pretty crazy how closely resemblance of what like a muscle belly looks to.
Oh God, don't tell them.
Like carne asada.
Don't tell them.
Or looks exactly the same. Anyways, yeah, there's a couple weeks where
Plant-based.
like you get a bone saw and we cut open the skull of the
Long arm.
body, and you like take the brain out, and you're holding this person's brain in your hands. Actually, a couple of brains, but it's crazy. Like, that was a person who lived a long life.
Yeah.
And you have this, like, all of their thoughts and soul in your
That's
hands.
so weird.
It's pretty wild.
If you get queasy, I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
but
Anyways.
we're used to this stuff. We talk about it a lot.
Casey,
Casey.
long arm cast, broke my radius all the way down
That's
through, and my doctor
right.
said I have really great range of motion. Nice.
That's
Ouch.
right.
That sounds. Was that distal? So like, was that near the end here? I'm assuming. Like, was it your arm was out and it kind of broke the radius over here? I'm curious. I'm seeing a patient right now that had they had not radius but an ulnar resection. So essentially, sometimes the ulnar can be too large or too long, and it can create pain. You have a cartilage that connects your wrist bone to your two bones in your forearm. Sometimes that can create a lot of issues over time with arthritis. So they essentially resect. They take a chunk of that out, so it's kind of floating, so to speak.
Casey says correct. It's distal.
See, Alicia Cadaver, that was my favorite lab. Yes, thank you. Bro,
It is
gnarly.
the best
Now
lab.
that's gnarly. Casey, correct. Gotcha. So she didn't get PT. As in, the doctor didn't prescribe you physical therapy? If not, hit us up and I can give you a couple of exercises. Just give us a rundown.
Yeah.
And if you have, I apologize.
Yeah. Well, he just got his cast off. Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Okay.
It's working faster now. I feel like when we talk, we actually see the response right away. That's cool.
Our internet's not very good. It goes in and out. Sometimes it'll be great, and then other times, I think we got like the cheapest Comcast version. So.
Yeah, sorry guys. We're still broke college students even though we're graduated.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got your cast off. Seriously, message us after this on Instagram, and if you're not seeing a PT, Casey, then we'll give you some stuff.
Yeah, we'll get you started at least.
Yeah, because the one thing you don't want to do is like get your cast off and then go right back out on the mountain and fall down on your hand again. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, when we were down at Poochie, was that Poochie?
Yeah,
Or
Poochie.
Molly?
Which one? Well,
We were at Molly. When the people were coming down off of that terrain.
Oh,
that was pretty wild.
That was at Molly.
Yeah. People were just sending it down that terrain.
So at Molly, the line was way longer than it's ever been. Like usually Molly is like nobody goes there, but because Poochie wasn't open, everybody went to Molly and everywhere else. So the lines were long. But at Molly, there's a feature that a lot of people like to line up for, and then they hit it, and then when you land, you go into like terrain. You don't go into a track. You have to kind of really use your body to stick the landing and stay up. And we had some people come flying off that and do great, and they were amazing, and people were like applauding, and they were like, "That's the biggest jump I've ever seen." It was really fun, actually. But there was one kid who came off of it and he couldn't cut enough speed and he just nailed somebody, one of his buddies.
Ooh,
Luckily it was one of his buddies, because I feel like if that was a stranger that would be like a lawsuit probably, or a fight or something. But he was just chilling on the ground, the buddy was, and the guy came up and slammed his board into his low back, and it looked so painful.
Yeah, well, he was lying there after for like a good 10 minutes.
He was lying and squirming, and I was like, "Oh, buddy, I wanted to go give him our card."
Yeah, that was
like,
so painful.
It's not fun. Like when accidents haunt you for days or weeks after, like, or 9 weeks, like Casey said, had it on for 9 weeks. Like when accidents haunt you for that long, it starts messing with your mental state, not just your physical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a big mental state to any accident.
Yeah.
Casey, it has a lot of time to heal. It looks like it's 50% healed. I could send a photo of my x-ray last time I went in after the live. Yeah, that would be great.
Please.
I'm assuming they're
that.
having you wear a brace right now.
Love that. We love getting x-rays.
Yeah.
No.
But absolutely, as far as like mental goes with any injury, there's it's a huge mental.
It's so
ballgame.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't know. We all have different reasons. We both have different reasons for like starting this. But for me, it's like I've been injured. We've both been injured so much. But just every time I get injured, it's just such a mental like, okay, here's a couple more weeks of recovery before I can go all out again. That's why prevention. I love prevention.
Yeah. I don't think you can, definitely prevention is a huge part of injury prevention. But when you do get injured, with any extreme sport, I don't think you can mentally prepare for that.
No.
It's just like, it's just an awful feeling.
Right. Well, if you're a person who loves the outdoors, who loves snowboarding, who loves soccer, who loves mountain biking, running, if you're someone who loves to be outside and getting your blood pumping, an injury like takes that all away. And that's like your almost identity. I feel like as we get older, a lot of people find identity in being an outdoor adrenaline junkie, maybe, so to speak.
Yeah.
And when that's taken away, it's like, okay, now I have to be a little bit less of an adrenaline outdoor junkie.
I think it's because it's a huge part of your identity when that's taken away from you.
Oh, completely.
You know? So.
Yeah, like when I can't do yoga, like with my ankle, when I sprained my ankle and I couldn't do yoga for even like the first 2 or 3 days of not being able to move my ankle. Oh, it's just tears.
Alicia, oh my god, my ACL, I'm totally haunted by it. Yeah,
I know.
I can only imagine. Like my biggest injury I think about quite often. Like it's still very vivid in my brain. I was like 15 years old. That was over 17 years ago.
Your tibia?
My leg break, yeah.
Tibia and fibula, right?
Yeah, tib fib.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
Insane.
Yeah, it's an awful feeling.
It is. Alicia had a cadaver. No, your hamstring? I don't know if she had a cadaver or a hamstring replacement of her ACL. So she had like...
Gotcha. How is that treating you with the hamstring graft?
I think it is her hamstring, actually.
Do you have any problems with it, like tendinosis in the hamstring or weakness? Be curious.
Yeah. Yeah, injuries suck.
I'm dealing with a gentleman right now, pretty young, mid-20s, had his patellar tendon graft, replaced his ACL. But it's really common for, younger demographic to get either a patellar tendon or a hamstring tendon graft of their own body because it usually takes, and because they're going to be so active afterwards that the cadaver tendons are usually a lot weaker. So they'll usually crank on it and stretch it out, and over a period of like don't quote me on the weeks, but it turns, this tendon essentially turns into a ligament and becomes a little bit more pliable. Anyways, the moral of the story, he now has a pretty severe case of patellar tendinopathy because that structure was messed with the patella tendon, which is, takes a lot of load with that quad in the front. So if you don't know what that is, so pretend this is the front of the leg. If you have your kneecap, the patellar tendon, they take a little piece off of that right there, a little snippet, and then they stick it inside the knee in replacement of the ACL, which is a ligament inside the knee joint. So over time, though, this tends to get inflamed and irritated, and he's pretty young. So now we need to work on motor control on that quad, that muscle in the front of his leg, while also strengthening the muscles around it, because until he gets that, that'll bother him for the rest of his life.
And how old is he?
Mid-20s.
Oh, yeah.
So,
dang.
yeah.
So much life left. So, like, it's important to be on top of that.
Yeah. Casey, I really haven't had anything mental to me, and I really want to get it out there, but I know that if I have to take the season off to heal, I can do that, and it's really not a great season for Park.
Oh.
Amen, man.
Good mindset.
More power. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
That's the way. I wish I get there. I get to that mindset eventually, but in the beginning, it's usually tears. Like, it's usually like, this is more recovery. I just want to be outside. But no, honestly, that's the mindset to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you're thinking long term because you still have a lot of life left.
Yes.
Versus like I think I've said, due to healthcare workers are like the worst patients.
Yes.
They tend to dive right back in. So that's
true.
smart.
Sorry.
But you can still do other things, exercise wise, strengthening wise. So Alicia says hamstring, I feel it in the hams. It's interesting. So
for her cadaver.
Yeah.
Or for her ACL.
I'm assuming you feel it in the hamstring that was operated on, or hamstrings in general. Did you do any PT for that, out of curiosity? Casey, due to COVID, I was already hoping to take it easy, not overwhelm the hospitals.
That's great. Yeah.
Good thinking, man.
How old are you, Casey? I feel like you're wise. I want to know.
Wise.
Let us know how old
wise.
you are. I love wise people in my life.
Yeah.
Be an example for me, please.
Yeah, that's good thinking, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, like, how often ACLs just
And
get torn.
ACLs are so hard, I feel like, to come back from, because your knees and your spine and your hips, maybe your ankles. Okay, you could argue this about a lot of places, but I feel like your knees take so much. It takes your walking, your running, your everything. Like, I feel like I've had knee pain. I've never had a knee injury, and that is the one area that I am very cautious of. Maybe, Alicia, you can tell me if it's made you very cautious. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard to come back from. 15?
15.
Casey.
Dang, man.
Slow clap. Oh, slow
Yeah,
clap.
slow clap.
Casey. Yes. Doing it. So good.
A little faster now.
And it builds.
Take it away.
Oh! That's awesome. You're
That's
very
cool.
wise for 15.
Yeah, you are. Wow. Were they worried at all that it broke through the growth plate in your radius?
Oh.
Out of curiosity?
Good thinking. Good thinking.
What's that called? I'll think of it.
Who hasn't smashed the like yet?
Bro
Gnarly.
Gnarly.
Thanks
Thank you,
for,
sir. Thank you.
like, looking out for us. Smash that like button.
Yes, please.
Bro Gnarly's having us do it.
Alicia, yes. So she feels it in the hamstring that was operated on, that was used as a graft. Again, to kind of quickly go over the anatomy, this is the front of my leg. This is the back of my leg. And both of the two main parts of your hamstring, they have tendons that come across the back of your leg. You can feel them if you feel behind. You have two sets of those. One set, you have a couple of tendons that intersect and attach into called the pes anserine, and the other is by itself. So, so again, not uncommon. It's just about controlling that inflammation, strengthening that hamstring slowly.
And
rebuilding that muscle activation.
And confidence. Rebuilding confidence, too.
Yep.
In your knees. You need to have confidence in your body.
Casey, and I will do as much as possible to try to heal faster, that's for sure, but will not move until my doctor tells me it's okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good job,
cool.
Casey.
Yeah. Good job.
That's really good.
Alicia, I did PT. I had a great PT too. Really helped get my range of motion back, but yoga helps the most with range of motion, in my opinion.
Yes. Alicia joined me in person at Shred City once.
Oh, very cool.
Yes, and I was so happy. It was one of my favorite comments I've ever gotten, Alicia. She was like, I was able to touch or bend my knee all the way for the first time.
I think I met Alicia.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was really cool. So keep doing yoga. Keep joining me.
Absolutely.
And when we hang out in person, i.e. when we come stay with you in your cabin in Bend, we can all do yoga.
Let's see here. We'll do this. All right,
we're good. Just checking statuses.
Yeah.
Resolutions.
Anyone else have any concerns, questions?
Comments? Before we log off?
Yeah, hit us up.
I feel like today was really actually...
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Talking about concussions, ACLs, injury prevention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casey, they never mentioned that, but they were worried that I would need surgery, but I made it through with no surgery. Awesome.
So good.
Yeah, so with surgery always comes risk. One thing we see a lot not a lot, but you get two sets of people in physical therapy. You get a set that are like anti-drugs, anti-surgery. We're going to do this the all-natural way and strengthen my body from the inside out, which is awesome. And then you get another set of patients who are there because the doctor told them to. You have to try it out for 6 weeks because they refuse to do surgery before the patient attempts to strengthen.
Right.
So it's interesting to see those two trains of thoughts.
Yeah.
So at your age, it's never a good idea, especially with your age. You have the benefit of healing quickly.
Yeah.
At 15 years old, there will never be a better time than that.
I will say though, if you know what you want, it is ultimately your decision. Like in healthcare. And my bones, they completely separated and overlapped each other. And my doctor was like, don't worry about it. Like, most clavicles don't need surgery. It'll just heal on its own. And I was like, again, tears. It's a common thing. I was in tears and I was like, did you see my x-ray? My bones are overlapped. And she was like, yeah, like, honestly, it's fine. I'm like, I'm going to lose range of motion. Like, I rock climb, I do yoga. Like, I need the range of motion in my upper body. And so finally I was like, no, like, I want surgery. Like, even though you're telling me not to. So, like, and I'm so grateful I did. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful I did it. Like, it does come with risks, but if you know you want something, like, usually I like the all-natural way of just building your body up, but sometimes if you want surgery, you want surgery.
It's hard to distinguish, though, when to know to get surgery and when not to.
Yeah, I just think you gotta really know yourself. Like, for me personally, I knew I needed that range of motion, and the idea of my bones overlapping and growing together like that, or like healing like that, to me wasn't an option. So every case is so different too. Like, it really depends.
Yeah. Casey's same. Then my ulna dislocated from my wrist. Ouch.
Yeah. Bro gnarly, don't they meld together if you're young enough? As in your bones? I'm confused by the question.
Don't they melt together if you're young enough?
So your bones will always regrow where they are. So, like, you can replace a bone. Sometimes they'll already start growing back together, and then you have to break it and then replace. So, like, yes, your bones will always start to grow back. Your body is constantly breaking down and building up itself. Collarbone. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how old you are, actually. Like, the recovery will happen faster when you're younger because you're in a building process. But we're always, it's called microblasts and microclasts. Is that right? Osteoblasts and clasts. So, like, it's constantly breaking down your body and then building it up. And what's fun is your body builds itself up according to what you put in it. Oh, so if you want to talk nutrition, we can get real nerdy. But basically, you are what you eat. Like, your cells, your bones, your muscles, like, everything in your body is constantly clasting and blasting. So breaking down and building up. It might be blasting and clasting. I'll look it up to make sure.
I know it's like, it sounds opposite.
Blasting and clasting.
Yeah.
Blast is tear down, clast is build up.
Or one or the other. Yeah, I always get them confused.
Anyways, you blast and you clast, you break down and you build off of what you eat. And so, and drink. Water. So yes, your body will always start to mend itself. So if my bones were still on top of each other, they would have grown together like that. So my collarbone would have been shorter. So I would have had, maybe my muscles would have gone with that, but then my muscles would have been tight because everything would have been like this.
Yeah. Bro gnarly. My son's collarbone break was overlapping, and they said it was no issue since he was only 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so the collarbone is actually, you use it concurrently with any type of kind of shoulder abduction, flexion.
Yeah.
So it's either going to move up, forward, or rotate. So it shouldn't make a huge difference. It might limit his range of motion.
Muscle-wise.
Like at the extremes, but in regards to functional range of motion, it shouldn't be a huge deal. So,
I'm sure your son will be able to do everything he wants to do too. It's just personally being a yoga instructor and then at the time a very enthusiastic rock climber, I wanted to make sure that I had my full reach and nothing was tightened or shortened or giving me pain later in life. Yeah. But great. I love this. I love it. Aaron.
What's up,
hi.
Aaron? What's going on?
What's up?
Casey, they said it would be better with no surgery, definitely because I didn't mountain biking, and they knew I did mountain biking somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There you go. Do whatever's best for you.
What's up, Jay? Yep.
Nick Gurr and Ben Dover have said in the news recently about the economic effects of coronavirus. Is Ben Dover really a person? That can't be real. Ben Dover.
And then
there's a sister named Eileen. Sorry, I shouldn't make jokes. Is that really that person's name?
Yeah.
Karan.
Karan, nice man. Or
What'd he say?
Yep.
Hello?
Bro gnarly. Yeah, he seems fine.
Oh.
Yeah. He's still shredding. That's good.
Yeah, he
That's
seems
good.
very fine. Good. He's still shredding. Good. Wait. Bro gnarly, how old is your son as he's still shredding? How old did your son start shredding? I love seeing little shredders.
Yeah, be curious.
And any tips and tricks as a parent of bringing your kid on the mountain and making it fun, because we saw a lot of tots today. We call little kids tots, and every time we see them, we're like.
I always wondered, because you know how like the little kids, the skiers, can sit in between the parents' legs. But
What's the equivalent of snowboarding?
Well, I didn't know what they did with snowboarders,
Yeah.
but I guess you have to stay behind them or behind them. But then when you get them on the lift, we saw the dad carrying him.
Yeah.
And like held him up.
It was like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, I guess they do that if they're small enough.
And the 3-year-old
too.
had like a get up behind it. Like it had straps from the boot to the hips, and I think maybe a leash. I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff out there now for kids to start getting involved.
Yeah.
But I also saw a little girl once, and her dad was on the snowboard, and then she was like standing on his board between his legs.
Oh,
and like they
that's a
rode,
good idea.
and like that just like to teach her heel side, toe side. And I thought that's really cool, as long as you're not like going nuts and there's not a ton of people around. Like that seems really cool.
Yeah, gotcha.
He started at 5. Oh, bro gnarly. He started at 5 in
Wow.
the yard. He's 7 now. Oh, so cool. Does he love it?
That's amazing.
I don't want to force my kids into snowboarding, but I want to try to make them love it.
Casey, they were worried that I was close to adult bones, and they said I wouldn't be able to rebuild my bone if my bones were adult.
Oh.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool.
All right. I think that's it for
Are
today.
you good for the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week we are going to be in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for a little ski trip. So I don't know if we'll do live. Maybe a short session.
We might do
we'll see.
live with the iPhone, just like nothing super fancy like we have now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe we'll get, so everyone we're going to, we can't promise, but we'll let you guys know. Everyone we're going to Jackson Hole with are PTs, except for Gabe. But Gabe is a medical supplier. So Annie and Keith, who are meeting up there, are also DPTs, and they also snowboard and do all the fun outdoor activities. So maybe if we coax them into it, we could do a
We'll see.
group live.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll let you guys know.
Finally made it live.
Yeah, Casey, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you so much.
We love
thank
having you guys
everyone.
on live. It allows us to get to know you guys a little bit better.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeesh.
Who are we missing? We're missing Elle.
That's right.
Elle, if you are watching this later, where the heck are you?
Mm-hmm. And John.
And John.
Yep.
But John can't always make
That's
it.
right.
He can't. John can never make it because he's on the other side of the pond.
That's true. So yeah, Bro Gnarly, thank you as always.
Yeah, Bruno, you're always here.
Mike, appreciate the love.
Alicia.
Alicia. Aaron.
Casey, everybody for coming out.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, I guess we will see you next time.
Yeah. Oh, he says, Bro Gnarly says, by the way, 7-way hips has been kicking my butt. So good.
Awesome.
So
Keep
good.
it up.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Namaste.